They cutting off welfare.
Yo, Guard Your Glow Boxing, Big Mike, my man Doc here.
It's your boy Doc.
Shout out to Coltrane, Sleep, Ride or Die, who could not be with us tonight, but we just go into FLoyd Mayweather announcement that he's retiring. Doc, what you think about that?
We had this thing, do an emergency shoot, because I think a lot of people out there are flabbergasted and as shocked as we are and as disappointed that FLoyd at the tender age of 31 is walking away from the sport of boxing. I mean, it's a sad day in boxing. I don't know how we're going to be able to move on and recover from this.
FLoyd, I think what it all boils down to, FLoyd is a scared little boy that was probably terrorized by his dad so much that he grew up to hate him. His father is in the corner of his opponent. His opponent might beat him, and I think the downside of that, just the downside of he could be beat by his opponent that his father trained, I just think that's just too much risk for FLoyd. And I just think at this point he would rather give up that payday, that big payday, than to fight Oscar.
One thing with FLoyd, when I first heard about it, I was cynical like everybody else. It was like, okay, this is a marketing ploy. This is a strategy. He's trying to get more money. But then, the human in me actually paused for a second. I was like, damn, what if dude is hurt? What if he's got some type of illness? You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's really trying to walk away from the sport for a reason. Then I read that weak ass statement that he issued through Leonard Ellerby, whoever it was, and the opening line just cracked me up. It is with a heavy heart. I love FLoyd in the ring, man, but the person he's becoming, he's trying to be bigger than the sport of boxing, and like the timing is so off, man. How he kept Roger from training Steve Forrest because he felt Roger was gonna ruin his payday with Oscar.
Right. Then
he pulls out. You know what I'm saying? It's like he does things that to me border on being inconsiderate.
Now, at first I said, this man has been fighting his whole life since he was 6 years old. He got a taste of vacation, and maybe he said he wasn't motivated or dedicated to the sport to come back in. That's what I was thinking before. I was like, I actually took it serious. Like, maybe he's retiring. But after hearing you intelligent brothers talk and shoot back and forth with different philosophies, it just hit me that, like, Oscar wants to take a different fight in September because he doesn't think he's probably ready.
And you think Oscar might be ready for that fight in December?
I think they're gonna probably meet up in December. This grand.
Let me ask you this.
And maybe this is it. Maybe even if Oscar is ready, they're not generating enough interest.
And that's one of the things I was going to allude to. But this is my problem with the whole thing. If that happens to be the case, I'm really sick and tired with all the mind games they play. Like, I'm retiring. It is with a heavy heart. Yeah.
WWE.
Like, come on, man. Like, get out of here with that, man. Like,
maybe you know what?
You 99.9% sure that you're retiring?
I told you, like I said a long time ago, this is wrestling. Maybe Oscar got jealous that he saw MMA on national TV and said, how are we going to trump this? We have to make some... I don't know, man. Maybe everything I'm saying is foolishness, but I don't believe nothing.
You know what?
I just don't believe anything I hear.
We were talking about FLoyd's business moves, and this is business. You have a problem with it. You was basically saying, this is boxing. I don't care about nothing else. But now you kind of saying that I'm not saying you're mad, but I'm saying you kind of like looking at it like it's a stupid move because he left all his money on the table.
Well, I think, Docs, if you look at the whole thing in a whole, when we talk about boxing, right, boxing should be about not so much the financial move, but it should also be about what's best for the sport and what's best for your career and building the legacy. For instance, I liken FLoyd to like a Sugar Ray. Okay, Sugar Ray.
Robinson or Leonard?
Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard was a boxing great. Okay, but what made Sugar Ray a boxing great?
He took the fights that mattered.
He took the fights fights that matter. He fought the Roberto Durans. He fought the Tommy Hearns. He came back out of retirement and fought Marvin Hagler. That's what made Sugar Ray great. Now you talked about Floyd's earlier work, but you know what? To be honest, it really doesn't matter because no one knows what's his name. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dale Corrales, yes. Okay, that was good. But see, you know what? Here's the thing with Floyd. Floyd has never lost a fight. Floyd has never lost a fight. And sometimes, even what Floyd has to understand, even to be great, sometimes you got to take an L. Floyd is really forfeiting his legacy. He needs to go out. He needs to finish what he needs to. He needs to finish off the welterweight division, and he needs to do it convincingly if he wants to be remembered as a great fighter with the likes of Sugar Ray Leonard and some of the ones of old. I think he's given up prematurely. No one understands why he's doing what he's doing. It's really not our business to dissect that, but it's bad for the sport, and it's really bad for Floyd.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it as real. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. I'm gonna keep it funky with y'all. In this era where gas is $4 a gallon, the economy is shot, I'm indifferent. You walking away from the sport, cool. Get the hell out the way. I don't care. You fighting tomorrow? You gonna fight Cotto? Cool. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna buy the pay-per-view. If you're not gonna fight, I'm gonna support Cotto fighting Margarito. I support Margarito fighting Paul Williams or whatever. I can care less. I don't have, as a fan, I don't have time to really babysit or really get caught up in Floyd's. I'm fighting this week. I'm not fighting next week. I can care less.
What I'm really upset about is the fact that I'm not going to see 24/7 at 10:30 following my favorite show, Entourage, on HBO for the summer. Floyd basically ruined the summer, but what we're witnessing is a rewrite in a classic sense of filmmaking. And this is just a rewrite. You had the executive producer, Oscar De La Hoya, looking at the script and said, we're not generating enough interest for this big premiere coming September. And he said, we need a rewrite. We're not going to be able to generate the numbers we want to generate coming in September, so we need some drama. And I think he threw the monkey wrench out. I don't agree with it. It's all cinematic. This is what it's come down to. WWF, boxing is all merged. There's all this alternative motives and things to generate interest in fight, which the purists we're all hating, but that's what I think happened. I don't think it's just as clean cut as Oscar saying, oh, all of a sudden I'm retired, I'm gonna walk away from $20 million. Come on, please. I think Floyd beats Oscar in 1998. 2003, 2008, 2015, Oscar De La Hoya Mayweather gives Oscar De La Hoya problems because Oscar notoriously has problems with speed. And I just think that's what it is. And I think basically right now, they're reshuffling the deck to set something up grand.
We'll go into the box score of the fights this evening. First, we want to talk about Quintana versus Paul Williams 2.
Oh boy.
Docs, what do you think?
Oh boy. Look, man, I've been calling this for the longest, man. Anybody that was willing to listen, I told him, look, when I saw Paul Williams back in February, it's like the dude had an off night. He came in with the mohawk. Came in with the shady haircut. Y'all say he rocked shades all the time, but I thought he was a little too swagger-fied for my taste. I think he underestimated dude. He looked bad. He looked terrible. I was like, man, he did himself a big disservice because now nobody really gonna fight him, and you know he's out of the welterweight division. But I felt like once I heard the rematch got announced, I was like, you know what? It's gonna be a different fight. Paul's gonna be hungry again because I know a hungry Paul Williams, a determined Paul Williams,
right,
is a boxer's worst nightmare.
Right.
Paul made slight adjustments, like used his jab, which he was doing a lot. He was doubling on his jab. He was more deliberate with the jab. He was throwing that as a punch, not just as a setup weapon, and just not falling for a lot of the movement that Quintana was doing. You know, he waited, he was a little more patient, and we saw the 2 knockdowns and got his title back.
Yeah, I was one of the ones that predicted that Paul Williams would defeat Quintana. I know, there was a lot of discussion on our previous shows about styles make fights, but I just think Paul Williams is a caliber fighter, a strong fighter, and he definitely came out and showed why. He was one of our early on. He was one of our hottest prospects in the welterweight division, and I still see big things for Paul Williams in the welterweight division. And he just came out and showed the true champion that he is.
College girl boxing, expressing the beautiful beauty of a woman. And what we saw tonight was beauty. Paul Williams has happily proven me wrong. You know, I pick Quintana to win the fight, but what I noticed very early in the fight is that Paul Williams, the difference was he was very patient. And a lot of things, you know, with speculations, my colleagues basically said that, you know, Paul had an off night, he looked lethargic, and I assumed that Paul couldn't find Quintana with the jab and he wouldn't set up his combinations. But what we learned early in the fight is that he was pumping the jab, not trying to rush a sequence after him. He was basically fighting, as Docs would say, he was being a counterpuncher that night. Paul looked very sharp, he was very patient. He sat on his punches, hit him with a nice left inside. But Paul looked real good tonight. He proved me wrong. I'm here for you every time I'm wrong. Take it on the chest like Iron Man.